Hey, it's Ryan from Upfit Supply, and today we're going to be installing some DuraTherm door liners from Legend in our Ford Transit Connect. Let's get into it. The tools you're going to want to have ready for this install are some trim removal tools, an impact driver with a Phillips head bit, and a rubber mallet. All right, so this is going to be a pretty simple install. We actually have a long wheelbase dual sliding door with a rear lift gate option in our Ford Transit Connect. It's a 2016. We're actually only going to be installing liners on our two side doors. The rear door we did get a liner for, but we actually have the rear glass, so we want to keep that and not cover it up with a liner. So we're going to opt out of mounting that rear door liner. If you have the barn door style liner in the back of your Transit, we'll show you what those liners look like and how those get mounted, but we're not going to be installing those in this video. So the first thing that we need to do is remove this factory kind of particle board trim here. So I just got a couple of trim removal tools to take this out. It's a simple pop tab. Once you get the tab out, then they just kind of pop out. Out with the old. And so we actually have two liners for the door. Got a lower liner, got push in plastic clips for these. And we've got an upper liner, which you can use. It's got smaller holes, so we're gonna use self-threading screws with little push caps to cover those up once we get installed. We'll start with the lower. All right, so in our lower liner, we've got these bigger holes, so we just need the plastic clips. I like to get one or two in place, just so I can get alignment of the liner, and then we'll pop the rest in place pretty simply. I'm just pushing these in by hand. If you want to come back with a little soft mallet hammer, pop those in harder to secure them, you can do that. These look like they're going in pretty good. But little mallet. It's good to go. Much better than that little cardboard looking thing. So our upper liner is all self-threading screws. You're gonna see a little cutout here for the door handle. That's how you can tell the left or the driver's side from the passenger side. Gotta hold it up here. You can see what this placement looks like. We're using self-threading screws, so we're going right into the sheet metal. Luckily, you know, this is hollowed out sheet metal here, so you're not gonna go through the door. Just make sure you're using the provided self-threading screws. Now, Legend provides you the threading screw here and a little cap. Caps aren't necessarily optional. They just add to the aesthetic. You're gonna want to put the screw through the cap first before you drill it on there, or else you're not gonna get it on. So we're gonna use these. Just got a small impact driver here, Phillips head on there. And again, I'm gonna try and get one or two of these set up and then knock the rest of them in. So we're gonna put this through here. One thing to note, if you're using an impact, go light on it. You don't want to suck right through the screw cap and into the liner. That's happened before. Line up everything here. Just get it good and tight. We'll get the second one in. Once you pop through that screw or that sheet metal, it's going to want to suck that in nice and quickly, so just back off your drill a little bit. Kind of snap these plastic caps in place. And we're good to go. We're gonna move on to the passenger side now. So same song, second verse on the passenger side. We're just gonna remove this little cardboard or particle board panel here and then put everything back up. Again, out with the old and with the new. Just want to check this. Sometimes you can get these mixed up and have it upside down or something like that. So make sure that you've got the right direction going up here. Take our plastic clips. Just going to tap these all once. Good to go there. Top liner. Again, we're using self-threading screws here. Good alignment there. One question we get from some customers is, can I put insulation behind these liners? And the answer is yes. A lot of times there's going to be cavities behind the liners that can be filled with insulation. You just want to make sure that you have a nice flat surface here on the, where the mounting, where the liner is going to be mounted. But even with some insulation products like 3M Thinsulate, if it's thin enough, you can go right through that and insulate behind that. So you can fit insulation. Once we get this on here, you're going to have a good, there's probably 2 inches behind the liner between this metal window here. So you do have room for that. Another thing about these little push caps here is if you put too much pressure on them, they warp a little bit and then they're hard to clip in the tops of them to get them to stay. So make sure you're not sucking in those screws too hard, or else you're gonna have a hard time getting the screw caps to fit. Push these caps on here. Now, one of my cap heads fell off of here because there's just a little tab holding it on. No worries, you can just take it, snap it right in place. And we're good to go. That's all we have for the side door liners here. Dual sliding doors. Again, if you have the rear door liners, you're gonna put those on next. The door liners can be installed really at any time. Sometimes there's a certain order to do the floor, the wall, and the ceiling. Transit Connect, you can probably get away with doing it in any order, but usually it's recommended to do floor, wall, then ceiling, and then doors last. But really, nothing interferes with the door, so you can do those at any time. All right, so I said we'd show you how the liners work in the rear door. We're actually not going to install one because you can see we've got a window glass here, so we don't really want to obstruct the view when we have one. But this is what you would get if you have the rear liftgate option. It's just a single liner. Keep this black plastic trim in place, and this goes right over top of where the window is. And some of these rear lift gates have a metal window just like the side doors do rather than the glass. And it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 self-threading screws. These tabs bend a little bit. They're pre-scored on the back. It makes that bend easy. And then these goes right in here. And you've got enough gap in the door there so it's not going to go through the actual siding of the door. So that's how the rear liftgate option works. Now, if you have the rear barn door doors in the back, you're going to get some liners that look like this. And of course, this is just for demonstration purposes only. But you're going to have a left upper and a right upper, or drivers and passenger. And these all attach with self-threading screws on the top, kind of covering where the windows are. And then on the bottom, there's these 4 smaller liners that are going to go over. I believe there's some existing panels there, kind of like on the side doors, but I can't remember. And these kind of go on here. I don't know the exact orientation, but you got these 4 smaller liners that go on the bottom of the door. And that is how you install the liners on the rear door. So if you're looking for these door liners or anything else to help make your van work ready, check us out at upfitsupply.com. Again, my name is Ryan. Have a good one.